Whew. Well, that's got to be the worst bike I've ever had to put in the hoist. The Goldwing. And why? Because I got a puncture. Let me show you. So, as you've probably seen in previous videos, I got a blowout in the back of the Goldwing. I mean, the tyres ripped to shreds. So, the problem was I got it in the hoist, but because the tyre was shredded, the back end was so low I couldn't get the centre stand down. And I had to get it in the centre stand to get it up, you know, to get the back wheel off. Couldn't do it, so I've got this stand here. This is a brilliant thing here, but I couldn't get it under the bike. It was too low. You're only talking a couple of inches left. So I tried everything. I tried jacking it up for the sides, and nothing was going to happen. I had to watch what I'm doing. This thing, you know, is bloody half a metric ton, you know. It's a lot of weight to fall on top of you. So I eventually got my trolley jack under here, sort of in the middle, and started jacking it, and it was going up, but it was starting to lean a bit, so I'm holding on to it here, and I'm jacking it up here, and I've used all my strength to keep it straight to stop it tipping, and I got one hand and managed to get that jack under it, and then quickly let it down onto the jack, and now it's solid, it's not moving. So that was lucky to get that one. So yeah, and the back tyre, I'll give you a better look. And this is the back tyre, completely shredded off of the side rubbers. I'm just lucky that these side rubbers, it was actually running on them, and this was flapping about. I don't know how the hell that came off. It must have went flat, I think, and the sidewalls have just eaten through it, because I smelled burning rubber on the road, and then I felt it sliding around a bit. But anyway, so I need to get this wheel off. And as you can see, it's not very easy on the Goldwing. So, in order to get the back wheel off, the wheel's held on by one side, the drive's all at one side, there's nothing at this side apart from the bolts holding the wheel on. So you can get up in here to get them off with a ratchet. So you take the wheel off there, and then this panel here, there's two bolts here, two bolts up the top, and you can remove this whole panel, and the back wheel just rolls out, change it, roll it back in, and get it back up. So while the wheel's off and while this panel's off, what I'll do is I'll check the brakes and everything, see if they're okay. Yeah, now I did have one wee mishap with it, and I'll show you that. So trying to get the bike up, it was falling all over the place. I did this. Now I can get paint and blacken that out, fill it in again, and it should be okay, and buff off these bits and get them sorted out. Luckily that's the only incident I've had with the bike. The only damage it's done, and that's just a wee bit cosmetic, which is nothing. So anyway, I'll go ahead and get this done. I'm going to go for a drink first because it's 30 degrees already, and it's just early in the morning. It's going to go up to 35, possibly more. So if it goes up much more, I'll have to stop for the day, and I'll pick it up tomorrow. But we'll see how it goes. Right, I'll go and get this jacked up and get my tools ready. It's getting hotter. The first thing I'll do is take this cover off. There's 4 screws, 1, 2, and 2 up the top. There we go. All 4 bolts out, and this should just pop off like that. So I've slackened off most of the back. So now I'll take the wheel off, hopefully. Last but not least, ooh. Yeah. So that's the back wheel off. There. So I've jacked her up a bit. One wheel. They're just like a car wheel. You know, that goes onto the studs and you bolt them on. So that's what's left of the tyre. This will be easy to take them off. So let's have a look and see what's under here. Not a lot. You got your two exhaust pipes here, you've got your hub, your disc. The disc on that is pretty good. You've got this is a, I don't know what you would call it. I suppose it's a shield to a certain extent. Covers your hub and your wheel goes onto there. I it's to stop dirt getting inside your wheel hub, that's what it is. And you've got your brake pads here. Now, if they need changed, change them. Having a look at these, I don't know if you can see them or not. And there, there's the two pads there. No, sorry, that's the two side. That's the two bits of the disc, and you see the pads at each side. I don't know if you can see them or not, but that's how you check them. And to me, there's still a fair bit of wear on them, so there's no point changing them just now. If you've got the wheel off and you've gotten into the gubbins of the back of the bike, if it's easy to change your pads, just change them. And if you want to check your diff, if you're unsure whether it needs changed, just change it. You know, all this thing where you have to change it, do your service at 10,000 and 20,000 or 5,000 as some do it, and you have to do everything at that point. No, you don't. You don't. If you take your back wheel off because you're going to change your tyre, check your bearings. If your bearings need done, replace them. If they're okay, put it back on. Check your brake pads. If your brake pads need change them. If they don't, leave them. You know, check your diff, check all these things. You don't have to service everything at the same time. A garage only does that because they've got limited time to do your bike or your car. When you're doing it at home, you do what you need to do when you need to do it, not all at once. And that way, you know, you're no stuck doing all the work on your bike in the one day and wasting the whole day. Me, on the other hand, doesn't bother me. I'm not doing much else anyway. But yeah, I might have a look, see what gear fluid it uses for the back there, and I might change that. And the brake pads, they didn't look that bad, but I can always source the price of them, and if they're not expensive, change it, it's done. And you know what, while you've got this off, you can easily, and inside here, I'll show you. Inside here, you've got your bleed nipple. Looks like brand new. You've got the bleed nipple in there. It's easy to whip the cover off the handlebars, suck the fluid out, fill it with new fluid, and then suck it through here till you get new fluid coming out, and you know that your brakes are 100%. Yeah. So yeah, it's handy when you take a wheel off. You can actually do a fair bit more work and get the bike tip-top condition. Anyway, I'm going to go and change this Goldwing tyre. I'm not going to film it because I don't even know if I'll get it all changed today. I'll see how it goes. Just with the weather being so bloody hot. Anyway, I'll get back to you shortly. Well, I fathomed out the blowout anyway. It's got this fancy wee valve here, and look, split at the back. So yeah, so I'll need to go and get some new rubbers. I might as well get some gear oil while I'm at it and do the back end, I reckon. At least I know it's done. I might get some engine oil too, and just change engine oil while I'm at it. So there we go, got the new tyre on. I've put a new, what do you call it, mushroom in here with a new valve. I didn't have the bendy one, but I mean that's easy enough. to get the air hose on. So that's a good tyre, new tyre. So we're going to do in here now, going to have a wee look at this back diff, and I'll change the oil in the back diff. So as I mentioned before, always make sure that the fill wind's slack. So I've got that slackened off already. So I'll just take that right off, like that. And I'll take the bottom one off, I'll make sure it's slack. Yeah. I'll get a wee tub to put the oil in. I'll be back in a sec. So I don't know if you're aware or not, but these things don't take a lot of gear oil. Just a bit of a litre, not even half a litre, just very, very little. And it's thick, and it's black, but that's good. So it was needing. So what I'll do is I'll let that drip for a minute, and then we'll come back and fill it up. So that's it, just dripping now. So I'll just put the bung back in the hole bung, or whatever you want to call it, bolt. Give it a wee crank up. That'll be tight enough. And we'll get a cloth. 75 W90, and it's for smoother shifts for your gears. And this is what's recommended to go in this diff. So we just squeeze it in until it starts overflowing. Whoa! And that's how much it takes. Very little at all. I'll just check that's okay. Just spin it a wee bit, get the gear onto the cogs. Yeah, isn't it a lot? But yeah, a wee bit in there, just... Ah yeah, that's full. That's definitely full. I'll get that on. Come on. There we go. So that plug, it's got a wee rubber seal in it, so it seals itself up. Check the rubber before you put that back on. Make sure it's not damaged. Make sure it's still a wee bit wet with oil. And there we go. That's that done. I'll put the oil away. So yeah, so that's okay. I've just got to double look at these brakes again. Yeah, the pads look okay. We'll get away with that. It's going to be a wee while, and it's easy to change the brakes anyway. When you want to change your brake pads, you just take this back cover off again, and you can get in the side of the wheel to where the brake pads are, and you can change them easily. It's a piece of cake. Anyway, that's that done. Now to get the wheel on. Right, so it's time to get the wheel on. So tyres all done. Let's see if I can get this on here. No! I went and screwed that box on. I'll just jack the bike up a bit. And again. There. So, wheels on, yeah, wheels in there. What I'll do is I'll lower it down now. And that'll make it easier by putting the wheel on. See how that's doing. Easy nuts. Hey. So that's the wheel on. I'll get the nuts in now. I need to get a wee extension, I think. And then once you do that, torque them up, and that's the back tyre done. Oh, that's the tyre on. Just to put this panel back on, and that's it. Stick this on, tighten it up. And bollocks. Anyway, I'll go ahead and tighten this up. So that's that bit one, all tightened up and ready to go. So I've got oil change, filter change and front tyre to change. Front tyre's actually not that bad, doesn't really need changed, but if it was changed at the same time as the back tyre, and the rubbers went on the valve, the mushroom on the back tyre, there's a chance the front tyre's just as bad. I'll go and have a wee look at it and see what it's like. So here's having a look at the front tyre. The mushroom's very soft. It actually spins in the hole. It's awfully loose and soft. I don't know. I think maybe I'd prefer to put a new mushroom in that. And I've got a tyre for it, so why not just change it? And you never know if I do come to sell this bike, because I've been sort of looking at all my bikes and wondering, do I need as many? I use the KTM most of the time. I do like riding the Goldwing, well, that's the thing, but I didn't use it often enough, you know, to pay for the rego and road tax. Well, I pay for the rego and insurance every year on it. I don't know whether it's worth keeping or not. I really don't know. You know, I might clean it up and put it up and see if it sells. If it doesn't sell, I wouldn't be disappointed. I reckon I'd get about 15 for it, 15,000. A good enough bike. But it is an upkeep, you know, having a couple of bikes. And I've had my fun on this, you know, I've been all over the place on it. Beautiful bike. But yeah, it's not used enough to keep, I don't think. And it's too big a bike for just running about the roads. KTM's good enough for that. So yeah, I might sell it. I'll see how it goes. Anyway, I'll go and set this bike back down on its back wheel, and I'll try and jack the front up somehow and see if I can get this front wheel changed. Whew. Well, day two, well, I should say the afternoon of day two. So I'm going to get the front wheel done. Oh dear. So I need to jack the front up off the ground. Just can't get in with a bolt. I'll just use my hands. So I'll jack this up as far as I need to get that wheel off. Yeah, that should be high enough. Now, ooh. So let's have a look and see what we need. First of all, we need to take these bolts off here. These are the ones that tighten in the clamp that the bolt goes through, this part. I'll just take these off out the way. These are pretty much well slackened off. So here we are, slacking this off. Oh, pretty well slack. So I think this is just a bolt inside the pin. I've never done the Goldwing before. Yeah. So it's a wee bit like the KTM. That's the bolt that holds the pin in, and we must have to pull it out for the other side. So it's very windy today, so I'm just hoping that doesn't affect the volume, the sound. There we go. One pin, been well greased, that's why it came out easy. And so let's stop in this now. There's the brake pads, and I think it should come out at that. I'll take this off before I lose it, and there's one at the other side. So I can get the pads out, but the problem is these bolts, they're actually catching the wheel, so I'll probably have to put these calipers off, I think, to make it easier. So I'll just go and find out how to take them off. I'll know by a minute. So we need to take this caliper off. So the easiest way, I've got the other side off, but I'll see if I can get the wheel out like that. Yeah, I did. I got it out. I just need to lift this up a wee bit. And we'll see if that's got out. Yes. Too easy. Too easy. So yeah, I'll be that bit off. And yeah, they come off there, I think. There we go. Now, we can take that out of there. We can get that rubber bush back in. So here we go again. Put plenty of this stuff in. And it'll work. Oh dear. Let me see. Get this side out first, I think. So that's the tyre one. A yellow dot there, always line that up with your valve as close as possible. Balancing, I mean, a lot of people talk about balancing, you know. I've got a machine there for balancing the wheel, but I stopped using it, you know, because wheels are made that good. Like when the wheel's made and you balance your wheel on its own, or once you put a tyre on and you balance it, usually if you take the tyre off and put a new one on, as long as you line the yellow dot up with the valve, you usually find you don't need to balance them, because the tyres are made so good nowadays that they're evenly balanced. So as long as when you do balance it, it's really your wheel that you're balancing, if you know what I'm saying. But yeah, I've never balanced wheels for a long time on motorcycles, and they seem to be okay. If you're unsure, you can buy these wee balls that you put in the valve, take the valve out, put the wee balls in, put the valve in, blow it up, and they run round the wheel, and they actually balance your wheel. If you're that fussy, I'm not that fussy. I've never had a problem with it. Like, run that Goldwing at 120 and not a vibration, so yeah. So anyway, I'll go ahead, put this wheel on, get the brakes and everything put back on, and then I think the only thing I've got left to do is change the oil and filter, although it's not really due, but I was just going to do it for the sake of doing it. But anyway, I'll get back, put this wheel on, and that'll be the tyres done. So there we go, put the wheel up, put the pin through, and I've got the bolt in the other side, as you can see, so I'll just screw that in. And 22mm, tighten it up, as tight as you can. And then once you're tight as you can, pop these wee bolts and crank them up. Remember, do both sides. Whew. Well, that's me buggered. So that's the Goldwing done. 2 new tyres on it. I've checked the brakes over, they're fine, gave them a tidy up, bled the brakes. I've just got the oil change and filter to do, but I'll get that done at some point. I've gave her a clean up and she's looking well. Now, this I think this bike's going to be for sale. I bought it originally for going out riding with my wife, touring around Australia and such, but she doesn't want to do that, so I think it might be time to sell the bike, because it's not getting used. And it's a big bike, a good bike, to have sitting here doing nothing. So I'm thinking of selling it. So if anybody watching this wants to buy a Honda Goldwing, 2010, 74,000 kilometres on the clock, which for a Goldwing isn't much, then yeah, drop me a message down below and I'll get back to you. But here she is anyway, Goldwing, looking good. Now I have had a wee scrape here. This is the worst of it, just sitting around and no getting in. That wee glass is a bit loose, but that's needing a touch up. But apart from that, a couple of marks here, but nothing much really. You know, she's a good looking bike. She's clean, she's tidy. So yeah, if anybody wants a Honda Goldwing, let me know, and or make an offer and see what we can do. Anyway, that's it for the day. I'm buggered. that bike takes a lot of effort, you know, just the size of it. You got to watch what you're doing in case the thing bloody falls on top of you, but at least it's done, it's nice and shiny. Anyway, I'm going to go and get something to eat now. I'm absolutely buggered. So, thanks for watching again, and I'll catch up with you very soon. Bye now.